Hello, everyone. My name is Allison Foley, and I am the Executive Vice President for Wholesale Operations. And I have here with me Nick Nyland with Credit Risk. And I'm going to ask him a couple questions that we all want to know about. The first one, Nick, that I want to ask you is, what is the focus for the GSEs for 2021?
Yeah, so I've spoken with Fannie and Freddie, and their primary focus is kind of in three different areas. They have a big focus on duty to serve, so looking at the low and moderate income. That also kind of plays into manufactured housing, but really looking for opportunities to expand home ownership for borrowers in the low and very low income brackets. In addition to that, they also have a big focus this year on energy efficiency. So, any of the programs that allow for energy efficiency improvements, that is another area where they are focusing quite a bit. And then the third is really in the appraisal space. And I think they recognize, as we all do, that the appraisal process is the sort of the long pole in the tent. It's challenging, particularly given sort of the nature of the appraisal industry in general. And I think they've seen some of the successes we've had with some of the flexibilities that have been in place due to COVID. COVID is obviously still here and likely will be here at least through much of this year. And so I think they're looking to really kind of continue to have some of those flexibilities allow us to use desktop appraisals as well as exterior appraisals, as well as having sort of the expanded use of appraisal waivers, because that has really been the saving grace for us through the high volume periods we've had, with the appraisal industry in the shape that it is, having the number of appraisal waivers that we've been able to get, and every indication from them is they expect to continue to offer appraisal waivers at an increased pace to try to kind of get on top of some of these appraisal issues.
Perfect. What do you think the overall overlays are going to look like for us throughout the end of 2021, just for around COVID and all the stuff that we're experiencing today?
Yeah, the world kind of evolved a lot over the last year, right? So when COVID first came out, we put in a bunch of overlays to protect ourselves. We've removed a lot of those. I think one thing that the team here would want to make sure that we understand is we're not tied to G rate in terms of how our overlays are set. We'll be able to set our own overlays for wholesale. Wholesale has its own unique attributes, and we really be looking to evaluate ourselves based on our own performance, both in our agency space, but probably most importantly in the government space. I know people have started to compare and contrast, what Stearns has versus what G-Rate has, and it's really a different approach because they are in a retail environment. They tend to go deeper but more narrow, and so they may go to deeper credit scores than we do, but they have a narrower box in terms of DTIs, and they may have some soft overlays that really don't work very well in the wholesale environment because your brokers really need to have very defined lines that they can know whether this loan can go to Stearns or not. And when we have soft overlays like G-Rate has for their retail businesses, that really doesn't work for the wholesalers. So we tend to look at it in maybe not as deep a credit box, but a broader credit box. So we may have not the same depth of FICO scores, but we're going to go to broader DTIs. And we want to have more bright lines in terms of our overlays than that maybe they would have. The good news is, we're going to be evaluated by our loan performance, by our own compare score, and we'll be able to forge our own credit policy based on how we do.
That's perfect. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking the time today with us. We really appreciate it, and have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. Thanks.